Hi guys, so I've created a Microsoft Flow through Power Automate to allow a multi-layer approval process for our HBPS budget request form. So here's a quick run through of how it works. Requesters will be given a link to access the form on Microsoft Form, and this is what it looks like. And I just want to emphasize that we can always add or remove anything on here, especially the verbiage. So I will definitely need you guys' feedback and suggestions. So to start off, if the requester is logged in into his Outlook account, his or her name will automatically populate here. So the first field is the requester's name. So I'll put my name here. Then the department I'm in, which in this case, let's put ECE. And the third field is very important because the email address that requesters put in here is the first person who is going to start the approval process. And we want that to be the program chair. But for this example, I will put my email address and pretend I'm the program chair so I can show you guys how the flow works. So next step is the date funding required. So I'll just put a random date. And up next is the amount requested. Let's put $30. And then they will choose where the money will come from. So in this case, let's pick student course fees. Then also an important part, requesters will get to pick the items in which they need the money for. And also note under each item category, I included a list of supporting documents that are needed to fulfill the request. So examples would be agenda, codes, and list of attendees. So that way they don't forget and they'll have time to get them ready before submitting the form. So for this example, let's pick consumable office supplies. And also you can see here I included training, printing and marketing, travel, equipment, and other. So next step is the name and description of the items. This is where requesters will put the name, quantity, vendor name, and item number if they have it. So I'll put 5 boxes of markers from Office Depot, item number 000, purpose of request, ECE projects. Who will it benefit? ECE students. Location is ECE room 123. How will it benefit the students? It enhances their learning. And the approximate total amount. And see, I've emphasized that they need to add up the price, the shipping costs, and tax. So let's put $45 here. And then next field is recurring. So let's put monthly. But I might add quarterly here too, but for right now, let's just put monthly. Then the last part is for them to attach supporting documents. So I've included a list of documents in the subtext depending on the request that they're making, so it summarizes it for them and that they'll remember. They can upload up to 10 files with a maximum of 1 gigabyte per file. So it's also pretty cool since they have that ability to upload different file formats such as Excel, Word, or PDF. So let's try and upload a file here as an example. And lastly, they have the option to send their responses to their email, or they can opt out and then click submit. So depending on the request, I would say this would only take them 5 to 10 minutes to fill out, and also it depends if they have all their documents ready. So once the requesters submit the form, the owner of the form will then receive a notification that somebody submitted the request. So right now I'm the only owner, but I can always add others. So as an owner, you will receive a notification for each submitted form. So I think it's best if you could make a separate folder under your inbox that filters email from Microsoft Form, just so you have that reference. And since I put my email address on the program chair email address field when I was filling out the form, this is an example of what the approval request looks like. So since I pretended to be the program chair, I got the request saying, please review and recommend request for approval. And notice here, there is a link underneath that says completed HBPS form and an approve and reject button. So if the program chair wants to review the request, all they have to do is click the link and it directs them to a new tab with the requester's information. So you'll see here the requester's name, the department, the date that the amount is required, and pretty much all the information that they've inputted into the form. And when they scroll down to the very bottom, they'll see that under attachments, all the supporting documents that the requester has been submitted. So they can individually click on the file, and then it will bring them to a new tab to review each file. So as an example here, I have the code document. So and once the program chair has made her decision, she can then go back to her Outlook and approve or deny the request. After that, the requester will receive a notification email that says your request has been approved by the program chair. We will send another notification email once it gets approved by the dean. Please allow 2 to 4 weeks processing time. If you have any questions, contact Linda. So for this particular example, I also pretended to be the dean just to show you guys what it would look like on Krista's end. So Krista will receive an email that looks something like this, that says this request has been approved by the program chair/director. Please review and recommend request for approval. Notice there is a link, same with the program chair earlier. She can click on that if she's ready to review the supporting documents or the completed form, and once she made her decision, she can then go back to her Outlook to approve or deny the request. Then the requester will receive a notification that says the request has been approved by Krista. We will send another notification email once it gets approved by Linda. So same thing with the program chair and with Krista. Linda will then receive the approval request that says this request has been approved by Krista. Please review and provide budget number information. And then there's also a link for her to review. And once she made her decision, she can then approve or deny the request as well. So the very final step of the approval process, the requester will then receive a final notification email from Linda that says you will receive a separate email from her shortly with the budget number information. So for each form that gets submitted, it automatically gets stored in the HBPS form SharePoint under the budget request subsite. So as you can see here, you'll see all the information, the requester's name, department, email address, funding, amount, the date funding is required. So pretty much all the details. And notice here there is no attachments or there's no supporting documents. That is because you have to manually click it for you to see it. So if you scroll down to the very bottom here, you'll see attachments, and then you'll be able to access the supporting documents that they've submitted. So I think this is pretty cool because it makes the tracking process easier. Also, you have the option to export it to Excel. So it's just make things easier. So these are just the basics of the multi-layer approval process for Microsoft Forms. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope this is helpful. And thank you so much for watching.